Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Athletic Studio podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Kate Oman.
I'm Gordon Jomny Wong.
On today's episode, guys, we're going to talk about the current health and wellness and fitness trends that we plainly don't like.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff out there. I think we've got a few points to deconstruct and we'll share our opinions on that today.
But today's an important episode as well. Kate's broken our hearts a little bit, giving us some bad news.
Yeah.
Kate, this is your last show.
Yeah. This is my last episode, which is very bittersweet, which is sad. But yes, on to a different next chapter. I'm excited. But Gordon, the main question is, who's going to get on the podcast next?
To keep you guys, in tune, and we have a lot of talent here, as Kate would agree.
Yeah.
So my plan is to probably cycle through the coaches and, give them some exposure around the podcast and obviously their personal stories.
Yeah.
As well.
100%. I feel like there's so many valuable tips that our trainers can share, and everyone comes from a different background. So you guys, you listeners, will absolutely love them. Yeah.
But I just want to say, Kate, you've been a great host and
thank you.
Great podcast partner and also an asset to Athletic Studio as well. I'm sure your clients they're going to be very sad that you're leaving. You're on to your next journey, which is good too.
Thank you. No, it's been a really hard decision and I've loved this podcast. It's been so different and new and fun and I've learned a lot and I feel like we've had some good discussions here for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's finish on a high, hey?
No, we will definitely finish on a high and we're still going to be here like next week as well.
100%.
So just going to have someone else in Kate's spot.
Now start listening and just like putting it on repeat.
Yeah.
So I love it.
But also if you do want to keep following Kate's journey, your Instagram is @Nourished with Kate.
It is. Yeah, I'll still be there. I'm sure posting every now and then and keeping everyone up to date. But
definitely.
Keen. Getting into the episode. So you take away this first point. This was yours.
Okay. Yeah.
Dive in.
A trend that I don't like, I'm just like, it kind of just makes me cringe a little bit, is just seeing like Instagram reels. I'm not on TikTok, and I'm sure there'll be plenty on TikTok as well. But there might be like a fitness influencer and they'll be in the supermarket and they'll be like, hey guys, this is how you count your calories, and they'll look at food labels and I don't know. I get it. It's always good to teach people how to count calories, count their macros and learn how to read food labels. And the post is definitely specific for someone's journey in that period of time. But I always think there should be better educational content around health. I just feel like that's like really a basic trend. And I'm more about principles as well. You can obviously be within a certain caloric limit or know how to count your calories. But if it's not good quality food, or you're not eating enough protein, or you don't have the basics down pat, or more importantly, your identity isn't in love with health and fitness, then I think there are other things to work on rather than, something like that.
Yeah. What would you suggest them to start with maybe?
I would actually recommend they can start with that, because I was in that position as well. Then you might start with calorie counting. Then you do want to look into more the whys. What is a protein? Why should I have protein? Why should I have carbs? What type of carbs are good for me? I guess if you were to follow Instagram accounts, TikTok accounts, look for more content around, obviously Athletic Studio is a very good start. Looking at sports nutritionists, just where there's a little bit more why behind. Yeah.
Fair enough. Do you think the message kind of gets lost sometimes with influencers and?
Yeah, no, it's a good message.
Yeah.
It's probably more like I'm just being a hater because I see a lot of it. And
right.
I'm like, man, this content's shit.
Fair enough. To lift your game.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll bring my point. Number 2 is hybrid training. Now, I'm all for people training and I love the grind of it. It's amazing. But I think it's just been around for so long and it's just currently getting like a big amount of attention just because of its name. Hybrid training essentially is just strength training and running. I think it's been done for years and years and I've trained like this for about 10 years. But I think as anything, everything gets marketed and it blows up and it starts trending just as running is trending at the moment this year. It's blown up. So it's just those fitness, health, wellness trends that kind of take off and you're like, we've all kind of been doing this anyway. But yeah. So a little bit of hate towards that, but at the same time, good job.
Yeah, that's right. Like it will get people motivated to do things. They've just slapped a name on what's normally done.
Yeah, most people do that, which is, we're all hybrid trainers around really.
Yeah, or results wise, I think you're just going to get to your results a lot slower.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. I guess it just depends. But people think I've got to run to lose body fat, but it's absolutely not the
oh,
case.
that's another really good point as well. You can actually just do the weight training part, just try and achieve more with doing less. But I think, yeah, that's another thing, because the people that are advertising hybrid training, they're normally in really good shape. So,
100%. They're incredible fitness influencers. They look great. And that's why I think it generates so much hype. People are like, I want to do this. I want to look like you. I want to be as fit as you, which is so fair. But again, it's just another form of marketing smart. We
Yeah.
we fall into the trap. It's just
Yeah.
human nature.
Yeah, we've got to call our style of athletic studio training something. I'll just put into ChatGPT and come up with 10 ideas.
Start the trend.
We'll start that podcast next week.
Number 3, this is your one again. Yep.
Yeah, run clubs.
Boo.
Yeah, boo. No, you know what?
No, what?
It came up in conversation. I was at with a family lunch on Sunday, and because my brother-in-law is basically, he's going to be single soon, right? He's single now, and he's been doing marathons. And he used to be really big into weight training too. And the conversation naturally came up about how run clubs are being popular.
Yeah, they're huge.
And a couple of the cousins were saying, oh, you know what? Run clubs are really popular these days, but not because of the running. It's actually more for the dating. So instead of Tinder, people would actually just go there. And it made sense.
Yeah, fair enough. If you don't want to meet someone out on a night out, then go for it. That's actually probably a good place to.
Oh, look, if I didn't know how to
Yeah.
meet someone, and if I'm looking for someone who's got similar interests, then
That's
definitely,
true.
right?
Yeah, but then you could probably get hit on if you don't want to. Maybe. Is that what it's opening up
Oh,
for?
correct. Yes, especially.
I just came to run, guys.
Yeah, that's true. But then, because it's also like a cult, right? And documentaries on cults all the time on Netflix, where there's the head guy or the head particular person, and they're always taking advantage of everyone else.
Right.
So if you do like someone in that run club, I guess you got to be careful too, making sure that they're not dating other people.
Yeah, my God, it could just be a
And then the whole run
thing.
club's fucked.
Oh God, I hope this doesn't happen at every run club, but you never know. To be fair, I have heard, there's stories everywhere, right? There's stories at gyms, there's stories but a few funny stories about just a bit of a toxic environment at run clubs. As I said, you can find it anywhere, but I guess because it's so highly trending at the moment, maybe that's where people's focus is.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting as well, because I wonder what happens, because I imagine they'll all see each other at, let's say, the Tan, which is a popular running spot in Melbourne, and you have all these different run clubs. But instead of going to a run club, the biggest flex is if you can join an elite, I wouldn't say like elite running club, people who just take it serious.
They're just there for running.
Not like the run clubs that we're talking about. You'll probably just go there, like they'll have meetups in the morning, or you go there once a week. Then they'll go to a coffee shop and they'll have a croissant and a sandwich and coffee, and they'll just actually they're recovering because they burnt a lot of calories. But like one of our coaches, Fia, like she's part of wouldn't say a run club, but she's part of a squad.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it would be like the Glenn Huntley athletic team as well. And they're training for proper events and races.
Yes, yeah.
So I would more lean towards that side.
Yeah. Maybe, I guess, to be devil's advocate is it's good for people to make friends if they don't particularly, maybe, like, for instance, if I were to move to Gold Coast, I probably would join a run club because it's a good way to meet like-minded people, as we touched on before. But yes, I guess choose wisely.
Choose wisely.
Choose wisely. Okay, we see this next point on Instagram a lot, and it's more so when videos are kind of, how do I explain this? It's more so reaching an audience or targeting an audience that are a little bit vulnerable, and they say, for instance, it may lack education in the health and fitness area of, it'd be, for instance, someone doing a particular exercise that says tone your arms in 50 days, and you do 100 arm circles. So I don't love these because really are 100 arm circles a day, first of all, going to get you the toned arms? Probably not. A lot of this stuff comes down to genetics. Like whenever we see people either showing their physique on Instagram or followed by either like what I eat in the day or do this exercise to get X to look however way, it's always a bit of a slippery slope because genetics play a huge role, and we will not necessarily look the same as this person in the video if we did the same thing as them.
Yeah,
Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, they're usually already in like good shape.
Yeah, and genetics play a huge role for these things. Like a lot of females go and sell glute programs and they genetically already have quite strong glutes, and of course they've worked on it and they've, like, kudos to them. But sometimes as a vulnerable consumer, you might think, oh, if I do exactly what this 8-week program says, I'm going to look exactly like this person. Whereas unfortunately, as we said, it's
okay.
training history, it's genetics, it's diet, it's a whole range of things. It's not just the program.
If it's too good to be true, it's most likely too good to be true.
Yeah. So that's what
It's more like those Danels Direct. They'll sell you during the day on TV on those fitness.
Oh yeah, the Ab Circle Pro.
Yeah.
That was so funny. That brings me back to my childhood. You have your sick day at home and you're watching Dr. Phil, and then the Ab Circle Pro will come on advertisement. Everyone used to buy them. That would have been a multi-million-dollar business.
Yeah.
So anyway.
No, it's good.
It's quite funny. Your last point.
My last one is just because I know that it gets attention, and attention's a very powerful thing, especially on social media, and you can do good or you can do bad with it. And this last point's more around just fitness influencers or brands, and they're just sexualizing fitness too much, and there's no kind of real good substance and education behind their products or services or what they're teaching. So, and the reason why I wanted to bring up this topic is because I was scrolling through my reels, and some of it is health and fitness related. And then there was this girl, and it was basically, she was in a lingerie, basically. Not lingerie, but might as well be in lingerie. But then it was still fitness related. But that's how you get attention. Whereas if it can be done in a more of a PG rated way.
It's a funny thing, Instagram. I feel as though they push the algorithm for those kind of videos, and that's what gets engagements and views and likes and shares, and then other people have to do a very similar thing to if they want to get their stuff out there. So it's like a bit of a vicious cycle, isn't it? That unfortunately the way to get the message across is to be, or to just do something.
Yeah, I guess what people don't understand when they do those reels as well is like they get the wrong, you can be getting a lot of attention, but you're also getting the wrong attention too. Let's say if one of our female coaches did something similar to that, right? They're just going to get a lot of potentially guys following them, but they're never going to get coaching from them or do any of their particular services as well.
I get that. It's social media is a very weird platform, I think, at the moment in terms of going viral and
and it's the same thing with guys and stuff as well. An example with, let's say, thirst traps for men is you're just showing the rig. And it's great. I wish I had that rig too. And then because I look at the content behind it, okay, what else are they delivering? And there's just not much besides the body.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, have they gone to any courses? Have they done any education? Blah, blah, blah. Are they actually going to teach people how to get and sustain their results for life?
Yeah. I guess it's their audience that they're trying to attract, really. If it's that kind of person they want to get, as you said, a PT clients, then that's probably not the best approach for them. But if they want to get followers, then that's a good approach.
That's true. But to be honest as well, if that's what gets people motivated, I know when I started off with health and fitness, I'll screenshot guys with like 6-pack abs and like share. That's my motivation. Yeah. That's on my mood board. I'm gonna
put it as
like
your home screen. We've all been there, haven't
we? So yeah, it's a trend that I guess we could.
Yeah, it's because you're in the health space as well, and you're educated, so you see through that. Whereas the general population would be like, oh yeah, that's just like a normal thing to happen, or So
anything else, Kate, with the trends?
No, I think we covered the main ones. Yeah, there were just random stuff. I'm sure there'll be plenty more popping up between now and the next podcasting session. But no, I think with all of these trends, take it with a grain of salt and just make sure you educate yourself correctly.
Yeah.
And just ask yourself why you might want to lean into a trend, or why you might be inspired or find things aspirational, and then give it a go. If you feel like you can maintain it, great.
Yeah, well, that's right. I think the good thing is if it's low risk to do it, then why not give it a go?
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
Beautiful. That concludes the pod. Thanks so much for listening, guys. Remember to follow us here on Spotify, over on Instagram, and of course on our YouTube channel as well. I will miss the pod, but thanks so much for listening.
We'll get you on as a guest, Kate. Don't worry.
Yes, I'd love to. Yeah, so we'll speak to you guys very soon.
All right. Thanks, guys.
If you found this episode useful, it would mean the world to us if you shared, rated, and liked this podcast. It's how we keep it alive.
Also, be sure to follow us on Instagram at Athletics Studio. We would love to connect with you and see how your fitness and health improves with this newfound knowledge. Until next time.